going to take it in to the dyno,
Yeah.
strap it down, do a run, see what power we're putting out.
Yeah.
Then we'll put stage 1 map on it. Are there any other mods to the stage 1?
We really only do our air filter at stage 1. You can do larger intake and everything, but you just load it up and you can just quickly look at all the logs.
So is the Octane Booster Map a completely new map, or is it the same map but just like adjusted boost values? And maintenance schedule and servicing of B9s with this engine in and other cars with the same engine?
Single turbo instead of twin turbo. You can see this is just starting to do that.
Should we pop the bonnet?
Yeah.
Let's have a look inside.
Charge cooled, not an air-to-air intercooler. The early cars have CATs. The later cars, 2019, they changed to GPF and CATs. So, and you get a facelift at 2020 as well.
So is this GPF?
This is GPF and the facelift one.
Okay. So is there any sort of downsides for tuning this today?
GPF cars, the exhaust is slightly more restrictive. Even audibly, it is quieter than the previous, the pre-facelift. It does start to restrict the peak power numbers you get out of it.
Yeah. Great. So for stage 1 today, so we're going to take it in to the dyno.
Yeah.
Strap it down, do a run, see what power we're putting out.
Yeah.
Then we'll put stage 1 map on it. Are there any other mods to the stage 1?
We really only do our air filter at stage 1. You can do larger intake and everything, but a filter and stage 1 map is the best bang for buck mod you can do. Yeah,
see what we get.
Yeah.
What numbers are we hoping to get for stage 1?
Stage 1s usually do 510 to 520 on a GPF car, maybe 515, 520 up to 530 on a non-GPF car, around about 750 Newton meters of torque.
Great. And that's good power for stage 1.
That's really good power.
What does that compare to with, say, a B5?
I mean, a B5 stock would probably do 380 PS, 460 Newton meters stock, and they would go up to 420 and 650 Newton meters tuned. So nice gains back then.
Yeah.
But in order to match stage 1, you have to do full works. Stage 2 on these to get the same as the stage 1.
Yeah. So the final thing for this would be gearbox, because manual gearbox.
Yeah.
What are we going to do to this today?
So these are the 8-speed ZF boxes. They're really nice. The early ones have a 552 gearbox. The later ones have the slightly better 952 gearboxes. In order to get the best out of it, you do tune the gearbox as well. Basically just moving all the torque limits so that you're not limited by what the box will let the car do. And the later cars, the facelift cars with the 952s, we basically put the competition gearbox map in there and we'll tune that. So they're all converted to the competition gearbox maps.
Right. So is there anything you've had to do special to get that?
You have to be able to flash them, and a lot of companies can't flash them. So we see a lot of cars that come in tuned, but the box not tuned, and they just don't run the way you expect.
Yeah. That's all developed in-house, isn't it?
We do all that ourselves.
Yeah, so
and
that's good.
There is the very late 23 cars where the box is locked, so we can't flash them yet, but we can tune the engine with a patch in there that talks to the gearbox differently.
So you mentioned the competition model gearbox map you put in.
Yeah.
So why would that be better?
Everybody who's driven the competition says the gearbox just feels better and faster. So we start off with that, and all the 952s are cross-flashed to that gearbox map, and then we tune that gearbox map. So I think that's, out of all the ones I've tested, then I think that's the best one.
So Audi got it right with that when you were starting with that?
I think everybody who's driven the competition noticed the difference on the competition, yeah.
Okay. I think that's the thing for me with the B9. The potential is really exciting.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, I'm really excited what we've got lined up for this thing. There's some special things going on in the future for this very soon as well. So should we get it on the dyno, see what it does? Bro, let's go for it. So what did it do?
It did 437 PS, 590 Newton meters, which is on the lower side of what we can get on these, but a GPF car, it depends how loaded the GPF is on peak power numbers. And boost control in stock cars is not that great, so you can get little bumps that can make it higher or lower by quite a bit. Most cars will do 450, 600 Newton meters.
Okay.
The cars without the GPFs will be on the higher side of that, so maybe even 460 and 620 Newton meters, even stock.
Yeah, what do you think for this car now? Potential tuning at stage one, where will we be?
Stage one, they usually go to anything less than 510, I'd be disappointed, but 510 on a GPF car is okay. Maybe 520 on some GPF cars, but the non-GPF cars will do 510 to 525 on the higher side, and usually around 750 Newton meters of torque, which is a big chunk more torque.
Yeah, it is. Great, shall we get the stage one loaded on, and then...
We'll flash stage one and then we'll see what it does, yeah.
Yeah, look forward to it.
That doesn't look too bad. You see them. You see a lot of them that are old, as in they have a date on them, and some of them are original. This one, this one is 22, so it has had a service and it has been changed at some point. A lot of them have the snow shield around it as well, so that's not that bad. And that's the BMC filter, which is a cotton filter, just a high flow one. Car we tune now, we put this data logger into it, so we patch every ECU vehicle, which means you can log anything you want in the ECU, and you can log 80 variables, 100 variables, depending on what you need to log in one run. If you use something like VCDS, then it's very basic. It only logs OBD variables, whereas this can log every single variable in the ECU. So, like for instance, we're logging 41 variables at 8 samples a second. So everything we need to do to tune the car or to log it, do one log, and then you just load it up, and you can just quickly look at all the logs and look at anything you want on there that you've set up. Well, here's boost request, throttle, actuator, mixture, and then you can look at timing retard, RPM, you get cams, torque settings, the PID control of the boost. Anything you want you can set up and then just look at it in the graphs.
And what benefits does that give for you?
The benefits are you can do one run and look at everything you want to look at. You don't have to do 3 or 4 runs searching for something you think something's not running the way it should or whatever. And this patch is left in every ECU, so you can go out and download vehicle and you can log your car if you want to.
Okay, so what did we get on that stage 1, Doug?
So stage 1 is 519 PS and 741 Newton meters of torque.
That's good. It's what you said you wanted for stage.
Yeah, that's just the filter changed and mapped on 99, and it's on. That's a good number. Cold day, but that's a good number for stage 1.
Great stuff. So what would be the next step for stage 1? Is there any other step above this?
Well, stage 1 with a map switcher, and then you can have your stockish map. You can have this tune, and then you can put a bottle of Octane Booster in the tank and run a bit more. You are still going to be limited by the GPFs, so you could have another little step up in power, maybe a step up in torque. You could even go as far as put race fuel in or ethanol in, and then have a bigger step up.
So is the Octane Booster Map a completely new map, or is it the same map but just like adjusted boost values and timing?
Most Octane Booster maps are basically the same map as 99, just with 4, maybe 5 degrees timing more. Some cars you would run a little bit more boost. When you've reached the restrictive part of the car being the GPFs, I don't think there's much point in running more boost, but you can run more time in advance, make it more efficient and get that little bit more power. So we're in the 99 tune, and now we're going to put the Octane Booster in the fuel tank and change it to the Octane Booster Map and do some runs. This is NF Octane Booster. We always use this because we know it works. There's lots of Octane Boosters out there. Some work, some don't, but we'd always recommend this because we're more than happy with this. You can put half a bottle into a full tank and it usually saturates it enough to go up a few octane. It's easier just to put a full bottle in and you definitely saturate the tank. So most cars, you would put this in, it takes up to a sort of equivalent of 102 octane or 99 up to 102. And you would usually, on a turbo car, run about 4 degrees, 5 degrees more timing, maybe a little bit more boost if there's any boost left. And you can gain 10 PS. On some cars you can gain 30 or 40 PS. So all it's doing is making the fuel higher octane, more efficient, so you can run the engine more efficiently. So we'll put this in and do an Octane Booster Map on this.
Stage 1 recap, we've just got it back off the dyno. What do we do?
So we did 519 PS and 750 Newton meters, which is nice numbers. And then with the Octane Booster, we did 529 PS and 740 Newton meters. It's only 10 PS gains, but then we are limited by the GPFs. Yeah.
So one thing we need to touch on now is the maintenance schedule and servicing of B9s with this engine in and other cars with the same engine.
The S4s, the S5s, the RS4s have long life basically servicing. So some of these cars come in that have not had an oil change in 15-20,000 miles. If you're driving the car sensibly all the time, maybe that's okay, but when you're driving the car hard and when you're driving it especially tuned, the service intervals have to come right down. So the RS4s can be ran on 0-20 oil, and that is super thin. We always recommend 540 in the tuned cars. We always recommend new plugs every at least 20,000 miles. Audi servicing could be 50 or 60,000 miles, and when the intervals are that long, it'll get missed because everybody's so used to not changing plugs, not changing air filters, then you could get to 50 and not do it. We have cars that come in that have original air filters in from 2018, so they've never had an air filter or never had a pollen filter.
So if you were to run this on 0-20, like Audi say, and you ran it tuned, what could happen to it?
You're not going to do damage, but what we find is the cars that are ran on the thin oil are more likely to have the issues with the roller rockers. all the cars that we run tune on the 540. I don't want to say we've never had an issue, but we don't see the issues. A lot of new cars don't have oil coolers and run super thin oil, and just over time it just thins and thins, and when it's that thin it's not staying on everything. So like I say, we always recommend 5W40 and regular spark plugs and servicing, more regular than Audi would want you to do.
Yeah, I think I saw some the roller rockers out of that one over there.
Yeah, we've got an S5 in that's had a roller rocker start to fail, and he's caught it in time where it's not falling apart or completely falling apart. So I can show you what a roller
saw them
rocker
over there.
is.
Should we have a look at them now?
Yeah, so this is an S5. It's basically the same as an RS4 but different. Everything's the same but different. Single turbo instead of twin turbo. Lots of bits and pieces are different. But this is where the roller rockers, which are under the camshafts, can fail, and it is a common-ish issue on these here, and this is one that is in the process of failing. And you can see this is just starting to do that, and this is one out the engine and there's no play.
So are you replacing that with like for like, or is there an upgraded part now?
There's an updated part for that has larger needle bearings inside, so you don't just replace the one that is failing, you replace them all, and that involves the cam cradles coming off both heads, replacing them all back together. Now, this customer is on the lucky side of what's happened because he's caught it just in time. This can get a lot worse and cause catastrophic failure, so you do want to listen out for any weird ticking noises from these engines and get them checked straight away.
So the next step is get rid of those GPFs.
Get rid of the GPFs and put some sports cats on.
Yep.
And some other goodies as well. Stage 2 can be any combination of the parts that we've got here.
Yeah.
And we'll tune it to whatever. So you could just do sports cats, D-cats, and we'll tune it to that, or you could just do the charge cooler, we'll tune it to that. Obviously if you do them all you'll get the most out of it, but
So we've got the full stage 2 works here, haven't we?
Everything for stage 2 to max out stage 2. So you're basically going to max out what the stock turbos can do with these parts.
What are the bits? Break down the Wagner bits there.
So the full Wagner kit is a lot larger charge cooler core. All the hoses for it, the coolant hoses, the intake hoses, and in the box the pre-rad. The pre-rad's bigger than the stock as well. And then we've got a Loba high pressure fuel pump. So then we can max out the torque we can get out of the stock turbos. We have an IE intake kit, or it's the IE intake pipe that goes to the stock airbox. So it's just a lot larger intake pipe onto the turbos. And then we've got the full Miltec exhaust with sports cats and a few options of cat back that we'll test.
Yeah. So we'll do the next video, stage 2, full fitting video, everything goes on the car. We're then going to tune it, multimap, tune.
Yeah, with Octane Booster, possibly an ethanol tune on the switcher, I don't know.
I think whatever we do at stage 2 should be to the limit of what is possible on stage 2 before someone throws a massive pair of turbos on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Great, wow. Hope you enjoyed that. I think, yeah, look forward to stage 2 coming soon. Like and subscribe.
Oh, don't do that.